The best part of living in Los Angeles is leaving Los Angeles. Even as of now, I'm recording this, there's some guy mowing his lawn out front. It's just noisy all the time. But once you're on the road, you get this feeling of freedom, like this is exactly where you want to be, and there's no better feeling than that. There are some people who say that the journey is more important than the destination. Those people are full of shit. We knew where we wanted to be, which is 12 miles down from the parking lot. But that also meant a 2,400-foot elevation gain on the way back up. Even with all the modern advances in camping technology, a 30-pound bag still weighed 30 pounds. We made reservations for this trip back in February, and the group kept on growing. The final tally was 35 people. Some of us rented mules on the way down, but most of us just toughed it out. Our giant group broke up very quickly, as you can imagine. With our heavy bags, we ended up being the last people there.
Any compliments from the natives on your room? Yeah.
I bet somebody thought they were hilarious putting up the sign, because we still had another hour to go. About a half mile from the campground is Navajo Falls. We got here at the hottest part of the day, so naturally we took off our packs and jumped in. When we finally got to the campground and settled in, we realized that we had a lot of time to kill. And what's the best way to kill time while camping? drink 1,000 beers. I'm never hungover when I wake up in a tent. I think it has something to do with breathing in the mountain air while I sleep all night. Or maybe I am, but it's too beautiful outside for me to care. After breakfast, we rallied up the crew to head down to Beaver Falls. It's 2.5 miles from our campground, and we were told that it was a pretty straightforward hike. On the way to Beaver, we passed Mooney Falls. The trail down and around Mooney Falls goes through a set of tunnels. Then it leads to a series of ladders and chains. At 196 feet, Mooney Falls stands even taller than Niagara Falls. The defining word for this descent would be sketchy as hell. Once we got to the base of the falls, we spent some time digging around in the pools. While beautiful to look at, we didn't come here to stare at water dropping. We came here to jump. When we finally got to Beaver Falls, everyone was sweaty from the hike. Or at least that was the excuse we used to jump in. On the last day, we planned to jump Havasupai Falls. The top of the falls is 90 feet. We were ready to push our limits. A few of us went to the pool down below to make sure it was deep enough. Recent rains washed a lot of mud and silt in. The deepest spot we could find was only about 9 feet deep, which isn't safe enough to jump at that height. We played it safe and just swam around in the pools. The most important knowledge you can have as a cliff jumper is to know your own limits. I can't tell you how many times I've read some article about some kid who thought it was safe and ended up drowning. Please always check depth before you jump into anything. After spending an hour playing in the pools below, we decided to look for another spot. We had seen some photos and heard about a place called Hidden Falls. We went searching for it, and of course we found it. The water was deep, the cliffs were high. We had found our paradise. If you ask most people what superpower they would want, I'm sure flying would be at the top of the list. For me, I wish I could just hold my breath forever. There's just something about jumping off of cliffs. It's sort of that push and pull between gravity and weightlessness. You get a chance to fly for a couple seconds, like a dream, but then you hit the water and wake up. You're brought back to reality. And then you wonder, do I really just want to go on dreaming forever? spent the remainder of the day at 50-Foot Falls, which is located right above Navajo Falls. There's a secret cave behind the falls where we practice our shamanic medicine. William Burroughs once wrote, "Man is an artifact designed for space travel. He is not designed to remain in his present biological state any more than a tadpole is designed to remain a tadpole."